Let's start with why we'll actually be paying more for medication.
Well, the pharmaceutical companies in the country felt that the increase of the single exit price that came through in January of 1.2% was not enough for them to make money. Basically, the single exit price determines how much you sell the manufactured pharmaceutical products at and what price you pitch them at. So they felt that after the value-added tax was added in February, they were struggling to produce more medicines at a cost-effective price. So they actually went and lobbied for a higher price from the health department, which has now approved, a single exit price of 3.78%, which means medicines at pharmacies and also self-medicators in South Africa will have to pay just a bit more to get some of that medicine, which doesn't sometimes make sense, because when you look at the results from Adco Ingram, some of the products, the popular ones of Adcodol's, made them more than 1.9 billion rand this year. So it's something they do make a lot of money of. So we're still trying to figure out why they want higher pricing, maybe to just have better operations and pay less, of course, to produce medicines. But it's really looking like a bad one for South Africans. Of course, they're dealing with, or rather I should say, we're all dealing with food inflation, an increase in fuel as well that we've seen this year to record highs, and also now have to deal with paying for medicines. And this has knock-on effects on your medical aid rates that are also going up next year.
Can I just say hashtag greed, because that's what it sounds like to me anyway. HCI is looking to expand its interests in hospitality. Tell us more.
Well, HCI, of course, an empowerment firm that's got a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, and of course they do own eMedia, which also houses ENCA rather, and they're looking to go more into the travel and hospitality business, and they've bought some 18 million shares of Tsogo Sun to give them a better evaluation when it comes to that particular share, and they've bought this from the South African Clothing and Textile Workers Union. It's a company that's been struggling over the years. It's trying to deal with consolidating its hotel business while making money, but it's had a huge turnaround this year and making some profits as well. And prospects are in the particular tourism industry that there will be an increase in international tourists coming into the country, so they're seeing a lot of value in that. And of course, HCI now owning more than 51% of the holding group with these shares that they've bought now. So a good move for them, and also gives them more power, of course, in the boardroom.
Yeah, exciting times for us, hopefully, as well.
Definitely.
Snowball effect. And then, of course, we all hate being spammed, because we get those calls, and as soon as you hear it, you reject it or put it down. But there's more information about South Africa and spam calls. Tell us about that.
Definitely. There's more research that's come through from the app Truecaller that's helped a lot of South Africans avoid some of these spam calls that's come through. But a lot of telecommunicators, telemarketers are, one of the biggest culprits when it comes to this. A lot of insurers and banks also using these methods, but some South Africans are using this to block calls from debt collectors as well. But it seems South Africa, is right up there, 38% compared to the rest of the world. Only Brazil, India, and Chile are ahead of South Africa. But a lot of spam calls coming through, and some of them actually scam calls coming through. 29 calls on average a week for South Africans that are spam calls. Now, none of them that anyone wants. And, scam-related calls are also in the rise worldwide at about 49%. So a lot of people should be watching out in December more specifically. And, of course, South African Truecaller apps users are now at 5.3 million. So it tells you how agitated people are with those type of calls. They're trying to block them at any turn. Of course, there are X's as well that people are also trying to block. So a lot of spam callers out there.
Do you know what I do? If I don't recognize the number, I don't answer. But sometimes you get tricked into it, and you do answer,
Definitely.
and then you have this pre-recorded message, or you hear somebody saying, "Hi, we'd like to offer you," and you just reject. I mean, what else can you do? All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate it, Mateo Quaripe.